I've had a chat with Carl about the new parts, and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so give them a try.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my F1 2020 My Team career mode for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So here we are for first practice session. Not going to show too much, in fact not going to show anything at all, but if you have a look at the results screen here, it is very mixed up. Albon fastest on the medium tyres, we're second on the softs, followed by Bottas on the hards, and then he's faster than Hamilton on the mediums, and all the way down the order it is all very mixed up. So I thought that was just a sign of maybe an interesting weekend to come, if that practice is anything to go by. Of course it is only practice one, but we have a look at some upgrades after first practice, and after a bit of consideration I went for a major weight reduction upgrade, and that will come in time for Singapore. So that is very good timing for weight reduction upgrade. Lots of tight corners, so hopefully that will not fail on us, and we'll get that on the car in time for the Marina Bay circuit. But other than that, we are pretty much set for qualifying, so let's get into it. So here we are for Q1 then, and flying through the chicane on our second flying lap this is. And as we continue on through the third sector, we are actually using the same set of tyres we used for our first flying lap. We just did two consecutive laps, one after the other, and we are finding some decent improvement over our initial lap. And hopefully this can save us a set of tyres for later in qualifying in Q2. We may get an extra chance. So as we continue on through the final corner, a lot of understeer through there, but I have to say Hungary feeling a lot better in this year's game than I have found it in the past, and we do manage to get through into the next session relatively easily with Nicolas Latifi, Kimi Raikkonen, George Russell, Giovinazzi, and the two Frenchmen of Gasly and Ocon getting knocked out. So Matsushita just squeezing through in P16. So interesting times in that session. Gasly and Ocon definitely should have gotten through in those cars, but anyway, great job by everyone else who made it to beat those two. But anyway, as we go on into Q2, we will try our best to advance to Q3. I'm not sure if we really have that pace, but I would imagine we have the pace for at least maybe the 6th row. But we'll see what we can come away with in this session. So through the middle sector now, and into what is normally the part of the circuit that I really disliked in past games, but as I said, in this game I was really actually enjoying this middle sector, and indeed this final sector, albeit only 3 corners. I was finding it a lot more comfortable in this year's game, so I don't know what the change is, but it was feeling so much better, and I actually have to say, for the first time I was really enjoying driving the car around the Hungaroring as we bring it around the final corner to set our first flying lap. We go P3, not a lot of times being set, and as we continue on, we drop down into 12th position. We need to improve on this lap. We are, but only very slightly, so this could be the end of qualifying for us if we can't gain much more through the final corner across the line, and it's only a marginal improvement, and it will be position number 12 for us. So that is unfortunately the end of qualifying for us, as Matsushita, what on earth has he just done in our car? That is ridiculous. A 16.1. We're not even close to that pace. That is unbelievable. We did a 17.3. We're 1.2 seconds off of our teammate. He's just absolutely smashed the field. Unbelievable stuff. I have no idea where that pace came from, but that is, I don't know what he's done, but great job, Matsushita. Let's just get into the race, I guess.
Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. Historically a good race for first victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the first time here. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. They must be starting to feel the pressure at this point, Ant. Surely. There's a real shot at the title on the cards here, but one error at the wrong time, well, that could throw it all away.
True enough, but that pressure goes both ways. A failure or a mistake at this point could spell the end of their championship hopes, but they know their rivals are in exactly the same situation. Let's just hope the title is decided in the purest of ways.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Stroll, Perez, the Scientist and Alexander Albon, Norris, Matsushita, Kevin Magnussen and Kvyat. Ricciardo, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Antonio Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Russell, Raikkonen and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So unfortunately my teammate was hit with a grid penalty. We've gained 3 positions because Kvyat, Ricciardo and of course Matsushita all got grid penalties, but Matsushita actually qualified I think it's 7th position, so he kept up that good pace that he showed. So he is absolutely on fire this weekend, and who knows, he may be challenging for some points in this race. That would be absolutely fantastic to see as we go to the 5 red lights. And the lights are out and we are underway for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's a great start versus Lance Stroll. We immediately take to the centre of the road, get that position. We also pass the McLaren of Carlos Sainz. And now into the first corner, we're going to try and go around the outside of the Ferraris as the Mercedes battle away into the turn 1 along with Max Verstappen. But they will maintain that position as Lance Stroll gets ahead of us once again. We go back down the inside of Stroll into turn 2 and we try and hold him out wide and regain 6th position off the line. So it's been an absolutely superb start. We gained 3 positions from grid penalties, another 3 through the first few corners. So it is in exactly the start that we needed in this race. Valtteri Bottas has lost out as the starting phase of this race, and he is now in 4th position as
That's a strong start. Well done.
Lewis Hamilton will surely be trying to stretch away ahead of him. But for us, we've got exactly the start that we needed in this race, and we can try to just control the pace of the mid-pack for the time being. A bit of a mistake through the middle sector that let Lance Stroll right behind us, so we are under severe pressure from the Canadian, but let's hope that we can weather the storm and hold on for a good result in the race today. Speaking of weather, there is some coming. You may have seen on the indicator at the start of the race, which I neglected to mention at the time, but I am aware that there is weather coming in this race. So as we continue on onto lap 5 of the race now, so not a lot happening, but we make a mistake, run deep into the first corner. That's put Lance Stroll right behind us on the run towards turn 2, and we're going to need to start watching out for him if we do that too many times. Thankfully on this occasion we're able to hold on, but we don't quite have the pace of these cars behind us, and we're just constantly under pressure. Thankfully we're very strong out of the final corner, but any mistakes in the middle sector and we are under pressure as we make one mistake there, run wide through turn 5. Stroll straight up the inside, and we can't fight back from that. We try to send it over the curbs, but that just unsettles the car, and we lose some momentum. And Lance Stroll is away and clear and moving up the road into 6th position. We're down to 7th, but to be honest, we don't have the pace of the Racing Points. That's just not a car we can battle with today. Meanwhile behind, this is Matsushita holding up a bit of a train of his own, but doing a decent enough job, and He is in 12th position at the moment, I think, where he started. So it is not out of the question for him to get points today if things go his way. He's doing a good job so far. Meanwhile, this is one of the Renaults making a stop, and that is good news for us because as the race goes on, we are going to stay out for as long as we can as we battle away there with Alex Albon. Actually made a little bit of contact with the Thai Brit as he goes up the inside. We'll have a look at the replay. He just sent it to the inside at the last minute. There wasn't really, I didn't really know that he was there, to be completely honest. But anyway, we move on. There was no damage caused, so it is all fair, I suppose, as he goes round the outside into turn 2, pinches us onto the apex of the corner. We're going to try and hold it round the outside of turn 3, and we just about managed to hold the position, but Albon really not giving up without a fight.
It is 5.1 seconds.
A little bit more contact on the entry at the pinch point into turn 4. We run wide at turn 5. Thankfully, he's not going to be able to take advantage of that, and we're able to hold the position. But Albon is really piling on the pressure in that Red Bull.
Inbound, and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the rain dries. Seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
As you can hear, the rain is coming, but if you look in the top left corner, you'll notice we are slowly gaining positions as other cars enter the pit lane, and we are trying to just stay out on these soft tyres, which we have to take a lot longer than what was originally planned in the strategy. But this is Lance Stroll, the final car out of the ones ahead of us to pit, other than the two Mercedes who started on medium tyres, and that elevates us into the podium positions. So if it starts raining right now, that will reset the race more or less, and we'll be genuinely running in this position. I'm just hoping and praying that the rain comes before these tyres die off too much, but with faster cars on fresher tyres behind us, it's going to be very difficult to hold on to this position. Max Verstappen straight up the inside into the middle sector chicane, and there's nothing.
We don't think we're far away from some rain. I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
There's nothing we can do about that. Charles Leclerc also piling on the pressure, and we managed to hold him off for the time being, a little bit rudely, but we do manage to keep the bright red Ferrari behind us for the time being. But he is on fresh soft tyres and looking very, very pacey. And at the end of the day, again, I don't think we're really fighting these cars, and he just walks around the outside there as we left him the space, and we just both continue on with our race.
Spare energy. Use your overtake button.
So yeah, I think we should probably just not worry too much about the Ferraris. They're not really in our league.
The forecast suggests this rain is going to keep getting stronger for at least the next 15 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
But now the rain is here, and this is exactly what I want. I want it to rain more and more. And
the car behind's catching you at a rate of about 2 seconds a lap.
honestly, I just can't wait for the intermediate tyres to become effective, and that will be the point where our race turns around from looking in the mirrors to looking forward. Once again, we're trying still to hold off the other Ferrari.
Up to the car ahead is 8.5 seconds.
And well, you can hear there from Jeff the time we've already lost to Charles Leclerc. We are on lap 19 of the race, and it is now, I think, time to come in to the pits. No, it's not. We're not going in. So we're going on for another lap. I lie. And we continue on. So we're going almost double the time that we're supposed to on these soft tyres, as Lance Stroll makes the move on Sebastian Vettel and gets up right behind us once again. So all the time that we've held up Vettel, Stroll has taken the advantage there, and he just walks around the outside through the final corner of the middle sector, and he is off and blazing into the distance as we are really struggling on these tyres. You can see Vettel just goes past, as well as Carlos Sainz, and yeah, it is now definitely time for
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
those intermediate tyres, and I am very, very thankful as we try and
Confirming that we'll be fitting the intermediate tyres.
fumble our way into pit lane, trying to set the strategy at the same time. I feel like a bit of an octopus trying to do all that, but
Nobuharu is coming in for his stop.
anyway, into the pits we now go, and into intermediate tyres, going onto the car for the foreseeable future.
No, exit now. We're racing on the exit. Release, release.
That's definitely
One stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
an unsafe release ahead of Sergio Perez, but let's not worry about that. Yeah, so this is the point, hopefully, where our race can turn around. We've had good pace in the rain in the past, so I'm hoping for good things in this race in the near future, as there's a few cars here very, very slow on slick tyres still, and that's put us a few more positions up the road. I think they were cars we were ahead of
Conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least.
already, but still helps us out stay close enough to Carlos Sainz, so maybe we'll be able to have a look down the inside into turn 2, very deep under the brakes, but we get the move done on Carlos Sainz and move our way up into 8th position in this Hungarian Grand Prix. So we're running in some decent points for our team for the time being, and I should also mention at this time that Matsushita is doing a good job as well, and if there's any trouble for the top 10, he may be in a position to capitalize on that if things go his way. So he is not doing a bad job at all in Hungary so far, as we battle away into the first corner with Sergio Perez. We're side by side on the exit, but Perez gets the traction, but we're going to have a look down the inside into turn 2, and this time we get it stopped. Perez though with the switchback, and he's going to just about squeeze through into the third corner, and that is Perez ahead of us now. And it does seem like we are just struggling for pace a little bit. We run very deep into the penultimate corner, struggling to get the car turned. And now Carlos Sainz trying to go around the outside. Matsushita though fills the gap on the inside line as we're both running wide. Matsushita might get the power down best out of all of us here, and he has. He's got the move done on Carlos Sainz, and very soon he's going to be right on my tail. I'm really struggling at this point in the race. I can't even make the first corner as I'm trying to watch the battle behind at the same time. But now Matsushita drives straight past around the outside into turn 2 and sweeps around and takes that position. Carlos Sainz though has an issue. I think he's going very slowly, and he's going to retire from the race with a mechanical failure for the Spaniard. That is a disaster in this Hungarian Grand Prix.
Create a gap and let the car behind through.
So Carlos Sainz struggling a little bit, and then retires from the race completely as we're under pressure from Ricciardo. Then we have to let Valtteri Bottas through
Good. You're managing it well.
with the blue flags. Always lovely when you're making when you're battling with another car and have to watch out for blue flags at the same time. But anyway, a little bit of contact with Ricciardo through the penultimate corner. But anyway, continuing on, bad line through the final corner. Ricciardo has a look to the inside along the straight.
You'll be on inters for the next stint.
We're not going to worry about that pit stop because it will dry up sooner or later, as Ricciardo has a look down the inside into the first corner. We're going to try and hold it around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo, as we're going to go side by side. It's a drag race towards turn 2, and we're going to see if we can pull the move off on the inside. This time we get it stopped and make the apex, but we're quite slow. We've overslowed it for the corner. Ricciardo on the inside of turn 3, and we run ourselves off the road. Ricciardo gives up the position, strangely enough, and we are able to continue on our way. So I'm not sure if Ricciardo thought that he pushed us off the road. We certainly did that to ourselves, but Ricciardo backed right out of it, so I'm not going to complain about that. We managed to hold the position against our fellow Australian for the time being.
Take you right now. Pit in next lap.
But into the pits we go once again, and it is now time to go back onto the dry tyres, and we get a stop for the line. Dry tyres. We're going onto the mediums for the rest of the race. I have a feeling some other teams might go for the soft tyres, so this could work out well for us if we can maintain some decent pace on the mediums. I think we just ran over a pit crew again. But anyway, we get
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Complete. Go now.
we get
After these tyres now.
Jeff, come on.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
we get a double stack with our teammate, but thankfully I think either Ricardo had to stack or he just had a very slow pit stop, one or the other, but somehow we managed to stay ahead of him. As we continue on, we are struggling a little bit for pace.
Nobuharu is in the pits. Nobuharu in the pits.
As Matsushita makes another stop. When he stopped, he went on to another set of intermediate tyres, so that wasn't very well managed from his side of the garage. But moving on, we have to let past Lewis Hamilton. He is, funnily enough, lost the lead to Valtteri Bottas. Not sure how that's happened, but Bottas clearly had his porridge in the morning, because he has been driving very well today, as we are having a bit of a twitch through turn 5. Thankfully we didn't completely lose control and end up in the fence, as can commonly happen in that corner, but not a lot of action for the remaining stint, I suppose. We were chased by Ricardo the whole time, but there wasn't really any particular moments where he was close enough to challenge us in any serious way. So as we go on what is our final lap of the race, lap 69 of 70, as we're a lap down. We're getting blue flag, but we're also trying to go for a personal best lap with overtake mode, and
Blue flag conditions. Create a gap and let the car behind through.
and rich mix all the way around the lap, but unfortunately the blue flags are going to get in the way of that, and also a few mistakes in the middle sector, so we had to give it up in the end and just let Charles Leclerc go along the straight
There's
here,
only one lap of fuel remaining.
and off he goes. And yeah, we'll worry about whatever that fastest lap could have got us, maybe a rivalry point at best. Probably not really worth risking a penalty for not obeying the blue flags. So yeah, we're just going to play it safe and let Leclerc past as we go around the final corner to finish the race in P9 in Hungary.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Pretty happy with that overall. More points for the team. Can't complain. Grosjean driver of the day.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So it is Valtteri Bottas who takes the race win here in Hungary. It's Lewis Hamilton bringing home second place. Max Verstappen finishes in third.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Fins have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed, and a good job in traffic as well.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Alright. There you have it. The Hungarian Grand Prix. Done and dusted. Not sure how Bottas managed to go from the front row back to fourth position and then win the race. It was just that kind of day, I suppose. But wow, good stuff from Max Verstappen. Didn't really notice that until looking on the front-on shot there. But yeah, I'd say that was a decent enough race for us. We had a lot of good battles, and as I mentioned in qualifying, this was the very first time that I genuinely enjoyed racing in Hungary. Gave the big squeeze to Alex Albon there as he went for a last-minute dive. into the third to last corner. We continued to battle away with him several times throughout the next few laps. But anyway, 2 points for us at the end of the day. I actually didn't mention it during the race, but Matsushita very well could have beaten us today. But yeah, unfortunately, that switch to intermediate tyres right at the wrong moment cost him, and he ended up down in I think 19th position. I'm not sure if he clawed any positions back after that, but yeah, it really cost him making that extra stop onto intermediate tyres when he really didn't need to. So yeah, that was disappointing for our teammate. He had equally as good a pace as we did today, I think, especially in the rain. He was very, very good. But oh well, we'll have to wait for another time. He will get his chance, I'm sure, to get points after the pace he showed today. But yeah, as I was saying, we just about managed to claw back and get some points for ourselves. We didn't have the outright pace that I was sort of hoping we did. After that really great start, I was thinking maybe we could be best of the rest today. You know, Hungary, it's hard to overtake, but yeah, it didn't quite work out for us. But in the end, P9, can't complain. So we finish off the rivalry this round with 3 apiece with Gasly. He got the fastest lap, we got the finishing position, but we are still winning by miles overall, so we've probably got that locked in at this point. We are very close actually to level 8 on our driver acclaim, so I think we can get some more driver perks at that point. $1 million as a reward for the sponsor bonuses. That is absolutely fantastic. We lose 50,000 for some damages to our front wing, but 3.6 mil in the bank.
Boss, this week's income from the sponsors is cleared, and we're making good profit against our running costs.
So now we have a sponsorship to renew or manage, and it is the one with Atlantic. It has now expired, so we're not going to renew it, even though they were the very first additional sponsor that we signed. They've been on our car for quite a while, but we're going to find a better option instead for that sponsorship slot, and we're going to go with DSB Optics. Their goal is to get a top 10 finish in the race, which I think with the car pace we have now between myself and Matsushita is something we should be able to manage more or less every weekend to get that bonus. So it is probably the highest paying goal that we can achieve on a regular basis, so that is the one that we will sign. Activity timeline now, we've got 4 days, so we'll do the weight training as we always do, and we'll do the power team building because it's the only one that will fit in the remaining gap. So we've got enough money now to upgrade the facilities once again, and we're going to go with a upgrade to the power unit facility. We're going to keep working on that. We're going to do the resource point generation side of things there, and the other option was build time, but honestly in this kind of building phase of the team, I don't think that's that important. So next I spent about 20 minutes putting the DSB Optic logo on the car, as well as going through and basically matching all of the oranges and blacks and whites and all the colors of the driver gear, the helmet, the badges, the car, and made sure everything was all the same shade, only to realize that it was the wrong shade of orange in the first place. But anyway, we've got an interview now with Will Buxton, so let's go ahead and do that.
Here we are in the HQ of our newest Formula One team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in. Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
Of course, we're always focusing on our second driver, and in just 2 races, Matsushita has come a long way, and yeah, he is looking like a very promising driver in the near future.
You lost your second driver due to financial issues. How dire is the situation at your team?
I wouldn't say it was dire. It was just potentially a few issues with financial management at the time, but it's all under control now, and to be completely honest, Matsushita has done a great job for us since then.
At the moment, you seem to be a solid mid-tier team. What do you think will take your team to the next level?
I think we need certainly some improvement all round, but we're currently working on the car's chassis, and I think that's where we can find the most improvement to close the gap to the teams ahead of us.
Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team?
Not at all. We're not running team orders here.
Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful?
I think Matsushita's done a great job for us so far, so I don't see any reason for us to change in the near future, or indeed in the long term, so long as he keeps performing, and we'll keep him on the team.
Well, thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
Thank you. Alright, so that is about it for this one. We don't have enough resource points to spend on any more upgrades at this point, so it is time for the summer break. So I guess I will see you on the other side of that for the next round in Belgium. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Hey boss, I think we could better manage our time by organising some team activities. Head to the activities screen to see what we have available.
Carl, there are no activities. It's a summer break.